Good evening and welcome to Laughing Monkey. Tammy, welcome back, man. How are you?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad we could do this. I appreciate you coming on. I know you don't do a lot of these.
I haven't done any, so it's like
Well,
for the
that's even
last
better.
year, basically. So,
Well, you got a lot going on. Well, let's start at this. What were we looking at for this year? Now, I want to start. I saw you past year playing in actually Massachusetts. Uh, Great triple bill, killer show. You guys were so good. And then Super Suckers came on and jammed at the end. So it was a really good family feeling with everybody. Like the
oh,
band
that
all just,
all the bands. There's four bands that were fucking great. I don't know if
yep,
they were all four on that show or not. There's a couple that were,
yep.
but
The Rumors, those girls were
rumor,
great.
the rumors, the lonely ones, and
Yep.
Super Suckers and us. Yeah, it was a fun. Everybody was great, and all the people were in all the bands are just fucking wonderful. It was just perfect in terms of that, you know what I mean? And just the shows all went fun and it was just yeah, it was a much needed tour after, what happened. So it's like,
Yeah, definitely. And
it,
I think it's a gift to have all bands get along because everybody was like coming out and watching each other and supporting each other. From you guys are coming out for the
yeah.
opening acts. Like it was such a great feeling to just see a
And all of
community.
the bands were great, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And all in their different ways and stuff too. And we've been wanting to do a tour with the Super Suckers for a long time. We've been friends with, Eddie and
Yeah.
Marty forever, since through a few different drummers and stuff. But Chris is a good guy, and it's like we're good friends with Scotty and stuff from before as well, Trillo. And but it was like much needed, and then what happened before, and it's like that whole tour. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be up for it, but
Yeah.
figured that'd be the kind of best therapy was just get the fuck out on the road with good friends, and I didn't want it to put a damper on the run, and it turned out really positive, so it was good.
Well, I think you forget me and I too. I mean, it was just I gotta say though, and the other bands around it, people need to check out. The Lonely Boys and my God, I can't think of the girls now. The band
Rumors.
Rumors. They changed your sound a little bit too. They used to have, I think, a different like a guy in it, a different guy,
I
and it
never,
sounded
well,
different.
they have a guy drummer, and but I never heard them. I never heard them before, and they were fucking great. I just fucking from the get-go, I loved them.
Yeah,
Both of them, the Lonely Ones, are just so
they got a
good.
great
I mean,
sound. It's
both
so
those
different, right?
bands are just so great, and of course, you got the Suckers that are just fucking monsters. Those guys
Yeah,
are fucking awesome.
I was bonus. I was bonus. I always want to see Super Suckers. And you guys put on a great show. I mean, you. How are we coming up with a set list though? I mean, at this point, because you want to get the new ones in. You've got your classics.
We just sometimes we rotate some shit, and we just play what we feel, and I'm just like kind of like just let Sam go pick it, and then if somebody else wants, hey, we should throw in this, we just throw it in. So it's like we know the ones that kind of go over the best. So and it was fun. So
Well, I think you've got an audience that's so deep you could get away with doing a lot of deeper cuts too. You know,
it's just like sometimes me too, remembering. I don't fucking remember that. I don't remember the words, but it's easy to once I hear it, I'm okay.
right?
But it's like some of the songs that we don't play live, it's because they don't really transfer live sometimes. You know what I mean? So and
I
all
can do that. I'd love to hear some.
who's in the band and how it's going and what's working and stuff. Songs that fucking work better now that didn't work with Christian or fucking, you know, even ABJ or something like that. Just a combination of people, you know what I mean? So the beats and the riffs and certain things that work and songs that worked with them work, we do maybe not work so much with Sam and Kieran or Ronnie and stuff. So there's kind of, I mean, anything works with Sam. Sam's just fucking,
Well, we can talk about Sam in a minute too. He's
just a
he's
fucking,
like a this is like a Swiss knife of rock and roll. But
he's
so Kieran, like he was last time I saw him, I think he playing guitar with Jeff Tate, right?
I'm going to a party tonight for Mindcrime 3 or whatever. It's like the record listening
Oh,
party
he's finally got to come out. Yeah,
at the
good.
Viper Room. I'm venturing out of the house.
Look at you.
And I'm going to a show on Friday at fucking the Queen's doing the catacomb thing and out in the
Oh,
desert. So it's going to be cool. We got some friends flying out from New York that invited me to that. So I'm going to take the pooch and drive out to the desert, out to Yucca Valley, Palm Springs out there. So,
That's going to be an awesome show. Well, you're friends with those guys because you did a cover of not the Queens, but you did a cover of the
Eagles,
Eagles.
yeah,
And Jesse and those
yeah,
guys.
Jesse, yeah, just yeah.
Jesse's a
So
lot of
yeah,
fun.
these guys are good guys. I met Josh a few times too, and a couple of the other Queens guys back at the Dragonfly back in the old days. I've always
Yeah.
been a huge fan of them and the Caius shit, and so it'll
Well,
be
they have a
fun.
definite sound.
I'm looking forward to seeing that show on Friday. So
Well, what's interesting with you is that I think people always go that they look at the generationally you know glam rock or just like rock, but your influences and your songwriting is so different from what it is. Like to me, it might have like a Rolling Stone riff, but like the music, the way your songs are, they're much more alternative in 80s and 90s and 70s, but more like punk alternative, not the alternative like stuff. Because
yeah,
you're like the choruses are different. They're like subliminal in a way, where like you hear it and it doesn't like jump out at you on some songs, but then it's stuck in your head for like days. Like you know what I mean?
yeah, I don't know. I just fucking write what I can write. But I got so many influences. Like, I mean, I just grew up with in a period of time where there's just so much cool shit. Even like today's Iggy Pop's birthday, and I just fucking love Iggy, and I love Bowie, and I love Iggy and Bowie, and I love fucking bands like the fucking Cult. You know, I was thinking about it last night, just was going in terms of favorite songs. Some I was watching a show and like, what song's movie? And I was just thinking of like there's three songs like just like the Cult. I go fucking really I'd fucking that band is so fucking good. You know, just you go back and listen to the shit. Like when we were starting out, I remember taking Greg, we went to see the Cult at Santa Monica Civic on the fucking
Mhm.
on the Rain tour and shit. And
Well, they changed so much from Rain to Electric. Right? They're like two or
oh,
three
I
different
know, and it was
bands in their
great. And then
career.
Rick Rubin did that. I heard the Mike Brown shit, fucking, I still thought that was great. And then what Rick Rubin did to it, it was like, and we were all here then too, you know what I mean? So it was like
Yeah.
fucking killer. I was like, this is awesome. This is like, so that's one, another thing of just certain bands that just influence just different shit and just growing up with Zeppelin and other shit because my dad was a musician. So going to rehearsal, I remember hearing Good Times, Bad Times on the radio, and I thought it was my dad
Really.
because I was fucking little, and the only time I heard that song was at my dad's rehearsal. I was in, I'd go to the
What'd your
rehearsal,
dad play? What did your
guitar.
dad play? Yeah,
He sang some stuff too, but just local in Seattle. So it was like.
that's pretty cool though.
And I was just loving. We were going to like high school dance things and shit like that. And my stepmom, his wife, like would make me matching satin pants that matched my dad's little bell bottom. This is like 1960 fucking nine and shit, 70.
Wow,
Just like
that's pretty.
5 years old, 4 years old and shit going to these.
Well, that's pretty cool to have that. My only was a cop, so it was way not cool. It was like way the opposite of that.
Get to wear, oh, but that's so kind of cool too. You get to wear the sunglasses and the fucking
Nah.
holster and shit.
It's fun. I did a couple ride-alongs, and me and the sergeant's son was okay, but besides that, having a cop for a dad at home, no fun.
Yeah, rock and roll shit was I don't know, a little cooler. Like,
Yeah, I give you got points for that one. We had a way cooler dad than mine. But so did you start doing actually I never like do this back and forth, but did you do a lot of like music early on influenced from your dad? Like was there a carryover between the two of you at all?
not really. I mean, a little bit. I mean, because I started, my dad got me guitars when I was little. He got me an acoustic that was like fucking way too big for me. I couldn't play it. My fingers were little and fucking, so that sat in the closet. I always kept trying to break it out. Am I gonna be able to play it now? And I'm like, no, I can't yet. And then I started playing his. He had, Les Pauls. He had a gold top and another wood burst, whatever. And those are so much nicer to play. The net action on those fucking Les
Oh,
Pauls
I
is
can imagine. Did you have one of the Sears
killer,
acoustics
but
like I had?
acoustics all like you gotta and the action was shit too. So it was like, can now I'm like my fingers are never gonna grow into this fucking guitar, Dad, and so.
I don't think
And
they
he
probably
got me
have
a
yet.
drum set too, because I was like, think I want to play drums, and he got me a drum set. And it's an old
Wow.
Ludwig fucking Then he took it back and look, I think he just borrowed it. He borrowed it from somebody and then fucking took it back. So, but I fucked it up. I mean, I didn't fuck it up. I fucked it up for whoever. For me, I didn't fuck it up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Painted some shit, changed some shit. 'Cause I'm fucking
it
in
was yours.
seventh grade or whatever. So I'm like, take it back. You got to deal with whoever you borrowed it from. Hey, it's not the same drums anymore. But
Just having drums in your house, having kids playing drums in your house is not the same as.
I used to have this guy. I played for a little bit, then I switched back to guitar because I was writing shit. But I remember playing drums. I had them set up I had like a Greg Brady Bunch attic room, kind of fucking.
Yeah,
I'm set up there, and I remember just it was done, and I was going out to meet my friend. There was this old dude, probably my age now, fucking in his 60s, like sitting on my porch. He's like, he came out and said, I just love the drums. He just fucking, this old guy lived a couple houses down. It was like, fucking heard it. I always remember that. He was like, I'm like, right on, cool. He goes, you don't mind, do you? And I go, not at all. Hope it doesn't, you know, destroy your ears because I wasn't that good. I was just like at the beginning, just banging away. Like, I remember learning fucking the drum part, like on Shock Me and Kiss, learning Kiss and, you know, Cheap Trick and fucking Iggy and that shit, The Clash.
yeah. Drums was I never got to learn. I never got to play. So it was always just the guitar. I did the acoustic, the Sears guitar with the strings. Like I said, the action you could slide a pack of cigarettes underneath it because the action was just it was steel strings. It wasn't like
Yeah.
guitar strings now. They were literally steel string like cable. You could have like done a bridge with
Yeah,
those.
yeah. Same with on an acoustic was just
Right,
terrible.
that's something. That's what it was. It was acoustic ones, and it was. So I never got to do the drum thing. So that would have been a lot more fun. I think as a kid, just to hit things. And
I have a friend of mine that was like in when we were like in grade school and in I think beginning of junior high. His name's Richard Stuverud. He's played with the War Babies and he's a drummer from Seattle. We went to the
mhm.
same grade school. I remember him showing me shit. And he was just it was so cool to know him too, because he was just like this kid that was just killer at drums. And he's still doing shit. I'm follow him on Facebook and stuff. And I mean, we were friends for a while. We just lost touch. He lives in Seattle and fucking I'm here, but he was in this band called War Babies with with some other people from Seattle that were from other
That name sounds familiar. Was it popular somewhat, or was
kind
it
of
just?
yeah, they were kind of they had some fucking good shit. It was back in the late 80s, early 90s and shit too. Yeah, they had some cool shit. And they had a good record deal. And Brad, their singer, he was from this band in Seattle called TKO. And he had just a fucking cool voice too. Just I love
So you
TKO.
were actually in the scene before you came to LA. So and of course you went back and forth. You traveled of the Seattle scene. So you did was it rock, and then it kind of switched to the grunge thing during that time
Yeah, it
period
was
for
all
you.
rock up there, and it just fucking the whole, there's a band called Rail and Queensryche, and just even like Chains. I knew like fucking Lane and stuff from back in high school, and Mike Starr too from the early days. I was in a band up there called the Bondage Boys, and I was just a kid. I was just right out of high school, and I couldn't even get in bars or nothing. And it was a short period of time too. And then I was in LA. And then when I was in LA, well, I moved to San Diego first for a little bit because my mom moved there. But then when I came up to LA, I was only there for a little while before I put Faster. And then we were only together like 10 months before we got a record deal. So everything was just, I was trying to do some storyline shit for doing a book. Been doing it for a while. I just kind of took a hiatus on it when everything happened. And
Well, it makes. I mean, honestly, it makes sense to take a break. But you had mentioned the book though before, so and like I'm not. I don't usually do the soup to nuts thing, but like there are things I didn't know about your like music thing. So it is kind of interesting to hear the little gaps, the stop gaps of your musical influences and background.
just
You know,
shit. When you just grow up in that time period, in the fucking 70s, basically, there's just so much. And there was so much change throughout different shit, whether it's AC/DC and fucking the different singers and Bon Scott and Brian John,
well, yeah.
all that Kiss and Thin Lizzy and just that shit. It's just rock. It's just constantly with still the Stones and CCR and then there's just never ending, and plus you get other influences like from your mom, you know what I mean? Like some R&B shit. I remember seeing fucking Earth, Wind and Fire, and
That's cool.
I saw the Jacksons when I was a kid, when I was like 6, you know what I mean? So it's like just grew up with music. So it's like, well, the different kinds, and I liked it all. We had like, you had stuff like, I don't know, just other shit like the Brothers Johnson, funk and
Oh
P
wow.
P funk, and you have that, and you put that on, and then you throw on, Kiss Love Gun, you know what I mean? And then you have bands like other shit going up there that you kind of forget about, like Boston and fucking just like the Clash and the Damned and just
There,
endless. The Sex
there's so
Pistols.
much out there.
You
Yeah.
got there was so much shit from so many and so much good stuff from every genre of music and a lot of crossovers. You know what I mean? So a lot of bands would play with other bands to, kind of get their following. That's how I learned. That's what we did in the club days. We do all these different shows with different bands that we normally you wouldn't think we'd play with, bands like Specimen and Doctor and the Medics and Geno's Jezebel and Flesh for Lulu and fucking all these kind of gothy fucking alternative bands and stuff too, as opposed to just playing with the rock shit. So we get people that would normally wouldn't come see us do our next show. You know what I
Did
mean?
it carry over?
We had a good, and we started packing out places right away ourselves. We weren't great. We were just kind of cool. I mean, our songs weren't, nothing new. You know what I mean? They were new, but they were, we didn't rewrite the fucking Bible or anything like that. But we didn't reinvent the wheel. We just fucking went out there and played a rock show and had fun. Our shit was just kind of trashy. And but it was fun. We had fun, so we sure had.
The demo. I mean, well, I mean, I had Greg on, and Greg talked. He said that he felt like the first album was pretty much a demo. He called it a
It
demo.
was
I
because
think
we
he
were
did. I
all
think he considered he had
we,
the guy saw the receipt. It was like I forgot how much money he said. It was so
we had to
so
write
cheap.
we had to write 2 songs just to finish it because we didn't have any fucking enough songs by the time. We got our
It's
like I said,
crazy.
we got our record deal really quick. So because we had a pack, our shows were packed, fucking all the clubs, so that we got, offered a deal. It was a shitty deal, but we didn't give a fuck. We were just fucking started out. Let's do a record. And Rick Browdy always talked to like, oh, we got fucking, I told him we do it for nothing and all this shit. But it's like, whatever. He did. We did it for nothing. So it was like, and it's a demo.
But
You hear it, it sounds kind of like a demo, but it's that period. That was us at 10 months old. You know what I mean? And we were, you know,
it holds up good though because it doesn't have that '80s feel.
we're
Like it's a
just,
good album. It feels like the Sex Pistols first album. Get that raw, punky feeling, but it doesn't feel
that's
dated.
what it was. There was nothing. Yeah, we didn't. There was no polish on it, and we didn't care. We just wanted to do a record and go out on the road and play shows, and that's instantly what we did. It's like GNR fucking helped us out so much. Izzy was always on stage with us back in the club days prior to our deal and shit too, because we were all good friends. And
Yeah.
Axel was like at our first show, and it was like, fucking Faster's got to be on our whiskey show when they do the opening, and so got on that. That was our third show, so it was like,
That's unbelievable though.
and then they took us with them to Europe on our first records, and that was fucking killer. So it's like they've always been very supportive of us and
Yeah,
one of the biggest up-alongs, so that's for sure.
you just played with some of those guys too the other night.
I did. That was really fun with Slash and Gilby and Duff and Steven got up and played too. So it was fun. It was like I got for like and I sang It's So Easy, which I didn't plan on doing. But it was
Yeah.
like all of a sudden it was like, okay, I'm fronting basically Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Right.
I kind of felt a little Axl-y a little bit there. So yeah, it was kind of bucket list shit, which I didn't, who would have thought that, 39 years ago, you know what I mean? They're all just my buddies, but it's like they gone on to be so huge and
Yeah.
so fucking monstrous and fucking great. And they're still fucking tearing shit up and doing it great. And Slash is, such a sweetheart, such a good guy, so
Well, I think everybody
they're
cleaning up
all
is
really
why.
good guys.
Yeah.
And Gilby's one of my best friends, so it's like we're riding buddies and we're just, been good friends for a long time now. So
Yeah, there's always pictures of you guys riding your whole club. Is there stuff coming up for Faster Pussycat to celebrate? There's rumors like what's going on for shows and stuff. Have we got anything?
well, I got no, really what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. We have this festival offer in September and the Hard Rock Hell thing. So we're gonna do that, and our old agent Chuck's putting together some dates over there, and hopefully that'll all work itself out and be okay. But I'm going over there probably right now. I'm planning on with two different guitarists, so I don't just for this run. So
Yeah.
because Sam's gonna be out with Godsmack and Kieran. Hopefully he's got some fucking immigration shit. So he
Uh-huh.
can't really fly. That's why he didn't do the boat. And
Yeah.
he can get out, but he might not get back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So hopefully he's got it sorted. He's just waiting on word. It's just kind of a waiting game now for him. So kind of puts him in a situation we can't really fly anywhere because we're doing a show next like in a week and a half and for M3. And that's going to be Ace playing and Jacob Bunton playing guitar.
Oh wow.
We're only flying all the way across the fucking country. We're playing like a half hour, like 35 minutes set. So it's like whole
Hmm.
day flag. We'll fly over. Next day, play half hour. The day after that, fly back. It's like fucking. Whatever, it'll be fun, but yeah. So this
It
Europe thing, we're supposed to do UK. It's like five or six, or maybe seven shows there, and then Spain and Italy and a couple in Germany. So and now, but I'm not sure if we're doing any in Sweden or whatever, but I don't know. It's basically like a few weeks. It's like I think we get there at the beginning of September and we're there till the 27th. So like almost 4 weeks, but I don't but a few days
that's
off
good.
in between that,
Yeah.
some travel days with I think we're doing that with Blacklist Union and Lorraine Lewis. They're gonna be opening up for that. So
Oh wow. Yeah, she have a new group together or single
yeah,
or something.
and she's just yeah, and she's been doing some stuff with Blacklist and that's my buddy Tony West band and my buddy Brian. So that'll be fun. Just going there over there with those guys. But I don't like really going out anywhere with the Sam. But Sam's just because I just feel like everything will be perfect on stage as long as Sam's there. So it's like a
A
but
good luck guitar player. So
yeah.
let's
But who
he
knows? Maybe we'll have some friends come out and do. I'm not sure if Karen can do it or not, so we're waiting on that. And if that'll, we'll just add somebody to the mix that fucking, it may be Ace. I don't know who's scheduled yet, but we have a bunch of other friends that are guitarists that are pretty cool. And we're still, this set is probably going to be limited. We're probably going to only be doing like an hour set, maybe on that run because it's limited. So it's
yeah.
like for that, I'd rather give them an hour worth of just cool shit. You know what I mean? So, and who knows? It all depends on who we have filling in for Sam. So
So what actually happened? So Sam, I mean, he's obviously this is a great guitar player and he's with Dorothy. He plays with everybody. How do you end up doing the Godsmack thing? And it's
he
just a
got
temporary thing because
he
Godsmack
got
really isn't a full entity anymore. I don't think, right?
but they got a fucking some cool people. So it's like it's good. But they did a run in Europe
Yeah.
last year, and Sam went with it. So they asked him to come back for this
Oh,
and
okay. That's where it's from.
kind of auditioned again, and he was just Sam. He could do anything. So it's like so that's killer. I mean, I'm so stoked for him because it's a cool, fucking great opportunity to
Oh
fucking
yeah.
tear shit up on a big scale. And I'm proud of him. He's like my little angel. So
He's a good kid.
he
I've had him on
is
a few times and
he's the best
he's a
kid
fun
ever.
he's a fun guy to talk to too. He's so nice. And which is nice. It's a different generation of rock now. I mean, coming out just being so just good hearted. It's nice to be good.
Humble, and just fucking amazing. So it's like, yeah, he's like my
And he's
little
so young to be
brother.
successful.
He's actually
Successful.
more like my kid than my. It's like,
He so you guys, but he's done a lot of writing with you though. So as far as songwriting, because you've had some songs and it kind of trickled out a little bit. You held off on a couple songs for a while now. We got more songs coming down. You're gonna wait and do it as
yeah,
a
we have a song that's done. We're just waiting on the final mix, and I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do for the B side. I'm got a couple tracks in between. One's a cover, and one's another original. But I haven't even since before the boat. I haven't. I just kind of shut this shit down. I just fired it up first time today since I got back from the boat, and but I got to get back to work. I just haven't fucking. But this song, the next song's called "Pretty Ugly," and it's fucking, it's done. It's already recorded and
Mhm.
turned out pretty good. I got Spike doing some fucking distorted harp and background. I got this guy from the Toilet Boy singing some backgrounds on it.
Oh
It's
wow.
basically about my old club, the Pretty Ugly Club. So it's like it's pretty. It turned out pretty cool. So that's the next track, and
I
it's
love that. The spikes on it. He was talking about you last time. I love the spikes on it. He was talking about you last time he was on the show.
yeah. It
He's
was
like,
just like.
ah, yeah, he loves you.
Yeah, we're bros. We fucking he was on the boat. We were on the boat, and
Oh boy,
yeah.
he's got great energy.
He was in rare form. Him and Nigel, they were great. It was just great seeing them.
Yeah.
They were good. I saw them the first night on the boat. They played the first night fucking on the pool stage, and they're fucking killer. So he's just
How are the crowds on the
he's
boat?
just a good bro too. He's like
Yeah.
good friends for almost 40 years. So.
Yeah, their first album came around the same time as you guys did.
We
Weird
went over
album.
there when we went to Europe with Guns. They opened up for us. It was the three of us at the
Yeah.
Hammersmith in London, which
Oh wow.
I've known us since then. So
So on the boats, what's the deal with how the crowds? Is it like big crowds, small crowds? I've
fucking
never actually made one. As I told you before, we are texting. I'm not a boatman,
our
so I'm not
crowds are
totally
big crowds. So whatever. So we play the pool stage, and then we do this thing called the Manhattan Room, which is kind of like a big club. So it was
is it
cool. First time I've been on this boat because this boat was start. This ship started last year. And we didn't go on the monsters last year. We left,
right?
came home after the 80s cruise. So, but it was fucking killer. Our first show was the second night with a cruise, and it was on the pool stage, and it was fucking a sea of people. It was fucking, it was really good. And then the next show was the last night, and that was in Manhattan. That was packed and hot and fun. Both shows, our shows went great. There's, you know, most of the people are out if there's unless they're lined up against they try to stagger shit, but you can only do so much. Larry, those guys put so many bands on that boat, but it's cool because usually they pay twice if they're lined up, you can catch them the first time or the second time.
Right.
So and saw the Darkness, they were fucking great. Which was really cool is like after we did the GNR Europe run, our first tour over there when we opened up for
Yeah.
them, you did the UK, Germany, and like two shows in Germany and then Hall, Amsterdam. Then we did the same thing on our own when Wake Me came out. And then we had the Almighty and Dangerous Toys open, and they were both on the boat. So it was like, because Ricky's been doing different shit. He does the solo stuff, and then he did the Black Star Riders, and before
Yep.
I was doing the Thin Lizzy.
It was a thing. Yeah.
So, so it was great. I saw the Almighty with, Stumpy and all the original guys from
Jeez.
that band, and they were fucking great. And then it was like later that day, that same day, I went and saw Dangerous Toys, and I'm standing right next to fucking Ricky from the Almighty. I'm just like,
Oh,
me and you, and then I pointed up at Jason. It's like fucking, it's like 1989 all over again right now. So it was pretty funny that we are all there, just the same
so
ship all
I
these
gotta
years.
I gotta go. I gotta push past my issues and get on the boat and not fear the diarrhea boat story. Netflix show. I gotta get past it to feel the good. So
You
many good
just
bands. I mean,
get to diarrhea and diarrhea, and it's like
oh,
whatever. It's like fucking happened to me. I was like,
it was the boat one. Yeah, no,
what
no,
I eat? What I eat? And it's like whatever. The next day I'm fine. So
it's
whatever.
the buffet. No, no, I'm talking about the boat that it backed up. That's the boat they're talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
That
you don't want
story.
to know that. You
No,
don't,
that's what I'm
oh
afraid of. The
that.
boat's going that
Oh,
nightmare.
I've
They're
been
trapped
doing
at
this.
sea.
No, I've been doing this for fucking 14 years, so it's like it's all fun.
Yeah,
I think I got diarrhea once.
I'm more concerned about getting trapped with everybody having it. I think I've been lucky actually. So I just saw Dangerous Toys not that long ago. Jason still sounds fantastic. The whole band, Jason. I just saw Dangerous Toys not that long ago. Jason sounds fantastic. The band is
They're
great.
fucking great.
So,
They're great. We just saw, like I said, I saw them on the boat. You know, and it was they're fucking killer. And Jason's a fucking sweetheart too.
see?
And we've been friends since back in fucking 87 too. When fuck, I think they opened up for us. Either that or we've known each other since then, but I don't know if they opened it when we met them, that's when they opened up or they came to the show, and then we've been friends ever since, you know what I mean? San
Yeah,
Antonio yeah, he's
it's
good people.
he is. He's got a lot of stories. He's got a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
See,
metal knowledge.
look, I can't remember them all. I can't remember shit. So I'm like, whatever. I leave it to those guys that fucking can retain it. I just can't.
It'll be a challenge for you to get your timeline for your book together. You know, unless you started it already.
I have no idea what's in it now. I'm like, getting ready. I was got to That's on my notes today to check in with those guys, see what's going on. I met with them in fucking, I don't know, I think it was just before Christmas.
So, like the
And
writers, are they writing with you? Like
yeah,
you
they were
tell
out. Yeah,
when you sit down with them, you tell them a story, and you tell them,
well,
and
we
they kind of
haven't
put
talked.
together.
I mentioned when we got after the fucking last year after the cruise,
Yeah,
I fucking mentioned just we'll touch base, just kind of hold off on anything right now. And then I know they were working on Ricky Rocket's book, so that was cool. And they're good, they're really good guys, and they live in Sweden in fucking Stockholm and shit. So they were out in December taking care of some other shit
yeah,
and so I'm just like kind of touch base. They came over here and we shot the shit and just regrouped and kind of and to like my brain waves, I really don't remember where we left off in terms of what we said. Like I still like don't know what we've been doing it for so long that I don't know if there's this if I forgot. Yeah, I'm sure I forgot lots of stuff. Did we talk about this? I remember saying that last time. Did we talk about this? And there's a lot of stuff that you know, that I probably left out intentionally because I just didn't want to. I plan on being with Kimberly, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I didn't want to have a book that she hated, you know what I mean?
yeah.
She
I
was
get that.
so jealous and certain things. It's just her personality, you know what I mean? And it was just like, I didn't want to have anything really in there that would make her uncomfortable. So, because I planned on
Happy wife, happy life.
yeah, so it's like, but now after everything happened, I'm just like, there might be some stuff in there. It might be funny to include, and most of the shit, it wasn't like fucking hiding it. I just know how she gets, you know what I mean? So
Right.
it's like, but so who knows? When they start sending me shit and we start going over, okay, what's what, and then I'll go, oh, fuck, we should put this here. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have those I knew that was part of a conversation I had with those guys. We'll like go over a section and go, okay, this could go here. This will trigger shit. Because I don't fucking now I don't remember what the hell we're supposedly have talked about everything. Because
That's so funny.
we've done a lot of sessions and stuff
Yeah.
here and Zooms and more here and more Zooms and just over the last fucking 4 years, you know what I mean?
But you've done a lot of interviews, though, in your defense. I mean, and for your whole life. So you're always talking and telling stories. So it feels like you're in this endless cycle of, I know you probably get a lot of the same questions, but, I'm sure you're at some point you're like, I feel like I've said this like 8,000 times already, you know?
Yeah, but see, that's like me too. I can't even remember. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying that's what I'm
I
saying.
think
You,
I
you're
might have
doing it
said
this
that
way.
before. It's forgetful, especially in my old age. So here we go.
I'm hoping you have, remember some more stories. I'm interested in the jump of the sound that you guys have done. Like, I think out of most of the bands out there, I can't think of another band that's jumped sonically albums, the first three albums, so dramatically changing. Three totally different groups to my eyes, you know?
What our shit?
Yeah, I mean, it was
Just because
fantastic.
we
I hope you can remember some stories because that's
because we learned how to play and we had a little bit more time to do the records. And John Jansen helped us out a lot. He was, he's one that did the second two, the Wake Me and
yeah,
Whip. And Rick, I mean, Rick won. We did a punk record. You know what I mean? It was this low budget. It was
yeah.
fucking. We went into a cool studio, but it was like, fucking done in a week. So we had a little
I
bit
mean,
more
Wake Me was
time.
night and day. I remember getting that when I bought the cassette, and that's the old YMCA 55. But I think walk, I was blown away. And then like, yeah, but then like Whip was like such a different album. Like, so everything that was out there, it was like totally another animal.
But we got better equipment and fucking doing the shit
Songwriting
on.
changed again. You guys
After the
really
first
just,
record, we got a record deal, so we started
well,
getting
yeah,
Greg and Brent got better equipment and Eric and shit. So, and they
I think,
and we toured a lot, so we got better as a band. You know what I mean? Especially them, tight wise. You know what I mean? And so, if you're doing the shit 9 months out of the year, you come back a better band. Because before we were only around 10 months and we were playing clubs. We were playing once every month. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Maybe a couple times a month. But we didn't have that much experience. You get on the road and you fucking playing in front of fucking Alice Cooper and Kiss and Motley and shit, and you're fucking doing that shit every night. You know what I mean? You're playing 4 or 5, 5 nights a week.
yeah.
And it's each show's like fucking a month of rehearsal. So it's like, you line up all those shows in a week because we do 4 or 5 shows with fucking Cooper, and then one of the nights off we do a show at some club in
Yeah, keep going.
Texas somewhere. We have a try not to have nights off because then it's like, I learned that back then. It's like nights off just cost you money. So if you're gigging, you're covering your expenses, even though back
Well,
then we had tour support and buses being paid
yeah,
for by Electra and shit like that. So.
adding into your tab that you didn't know
And
about
now I
back.
do that just without no label. I'm just like, fuck, it's me. I'm the label. I'm like paying for the fucking bus. I'm like, nights off, kill us. We'll sleep when we get home. So it's like, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are buses now? Like it's like what 1,500 or something?
It's
It's
just
like
stupid.
ridiculous. It's so
It's stupid.
insane.
It's hard for bands like us, but I'm fucking 61 years old. I'm not riding around in a fucking van. That's just, otherwise I'll just won't do it. You know what I mean? It's just like, but and then we're not going around in some pimp fucking daddy bus either. Our bus is just
Regular
adequate
bus.
enough to as long as the AC works and the fucking bus driver's cool. That's the main thing. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. It could look like a
Yeah.
Partridge Family bus. I don't, as long as it fucking gets us there and the AC works. You know.
Well, I think what I was saying about the songwriting changed something like this. So like the second album, Greg said you guys were like locked in for you guys couldn't tour or do something for a while. So you guys they had a lot of time to practice during that album period. But the
Well, we were
songwriting
looking,
changed so much.
we were we were looking for producers and shit too. So
Yeah.
we go in, we had lockout at Mates, our rehearsal place, and we that period of time it is what like the title, Wake Me When It's Over. The Wake Me When It's Over is waiting to figure out what the fuck. We were looking
Yeah.
for a producer. Electra was lining up different people. We met with a couple people. I remember meeting with Michael Beinhorn, which who I wanted. Electra didn't like him. So but he did like Red Hot Chili Peppers and fucking
Yeah.
is and great. He helped me with fucking Little Dove. We were working on these other couple tracks and fucking I loved it. I was hoping he'd do it. But then
Yeah.
we somehow we came across John Jansen and that clicked too. And that went forward. But that took a while. And then but we were already ready to go. So by the time we got him, he didn't really he helped it. He didn't do, the songs were ready. The songs were ready to go as is. Everything on the
Yeah.
record, song wise, was ready to go. We just went in and tried. We went in pre-production just to make sure who's going to play what and all that shit. But the arrangements were all done by me and fucking us, you know what I mean, mainly.
Yeah.
And we didn't change anything. John recorded them. You know what I mean? He'll be like, let's add this, you know what I mean, to that type of production. But we didn't do any, you know, fucking arranging or anything like that,
No.
changing melodies or structures of any song. They were all ready to go for Wake Me. And then Whip took a little longer because that was when John started fucking trying to let's do 30 songs and fucking then we'll pick it down. And I was just like,
Oh,
I don't want to do those four songs because I don't fucking like them. It's like I don't like the way they move. They weren't necessarily they weren't the parts weren't all right. You know what I mean? You kind of
right.
feel it, and that's just the way it was. And I kept, and it's like I'm not. So I was like, I don't want to do 30 songs. I don't want to waste a bunch of time. Let's just fucking out of this batch of 30 or batch of 20 that we have already, let's fucking nail it down now and make these ones just fucking killer. So, and it took a little while to do that. And that record took even longer than Wake Me. So it's like, but
Was there pressure from the label on that one though?
no,
Because
there wasn't
they
really.
didn't want you to do another Wake Me because this album Whipped is way different sounding to me. You know,
No, Lecter was kind of even in that period of time they were going they were I think they were on the decline. So fucking by the time we were done with it, it was like there's already people shifting and fired and stuff before,
yeah,
you know. But no, Lecter was always cool with us too. They weren't never breathing down our neck to get, hurry up and whatever. They were just like fucking, cool. And they were stoked with it when we delivered it and we did nonstop. They fucking loved it. But a lot of Elektra was going through internal turmoil at the time too. When that record was coming out, everybody was getting fired from the.
okay.
We didn't really have a whole shot, but we got at least we got out on the road, so that was what they could do. At least we were out on tour, so we got to tour with fucking Kiss and Ozzy and Whitesnake and some other shit, you know what I mean? So and did a bunch of shit on our own. But just touring with Ozzy was fucking cool shit. So
I,
they got us and they got us out on the road, but we didn't we'd come into cities and there wouldn't be any record reps in big Detroit or fucking
yeah,
Dallas and fucking so 'cause they got fired. Oh, because we got to be friends with a lot of the reps. To be,
right.
yo, coming through, fuck, I'm gone. I'm unemployed right now. I'm just like, what? And they'd come to the show, but they're not no longer working. You know what I mean? And so it was,
That's hard.
yeah, it was
You
kind of
know,
that was like the downfall of it. And then we got dropped, so it was like fucking. We knew it was coming when we were out there on the road, and we knew it was the proof was in the pudding. That shit was gonna.
yeah. Well, at least you know it wasn't just you guys. Everyone was going. It wasn't just the band. It was just the whole place was falling
It
apart.
was the
You
whole
know, the
thing,
whole
and
house was on fire. Yeah, so it was
and
a
the
little
whole
different.
Electra staff was like, president and everybody just gone. Then it fucking disappeared.
Yeah,
Left folded. So it's like fucking folded into Warner. So
at least got that album out. I mean, that's a
exactly,
great
they got the
album.
record out. It was fun, and we got to go do some good touring. But that was pretty much the end of that period of Faster. So
I think it's kind of just because there's so many bands that had to do like they did like the next album. I feel like they were copying their albums, and you guys were not copying your albums. And to me, that's why it
yeah,
was so different. No, but a lot of bands, your peers, were in that mode. Where it was like everyone, the bigger the song, the bigger the ballad, the bigger the this, and there was no House of Pain too. Like you know what I'm saying, it was very much organic songwriting.
there's
And
probably we didn't. That's the thing. We didn't really get pressured by Electra. Probably, and we weren't forced to hurry. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it was like some of those other bands probably were in that thing where they had their little formula and they're fucking, you know,
oh yeah,
we need to get a record out in 2 months to get these songs written now. We lollygagged just like I do now. Now it's like even more ridiculous. Takes me a fucking year to even think of the song. Then next year I'll fucking rethink the song. So it's like
that's
yeah,
hilarious.
pretty
But
fucking.
the good song. So when you release them, are you eventually going to put them together as an album, or are you just going to keep putting them out as singles? I
Fuck,
mean,
who knows? Who knows? Like I said, I'm 61. Maybe by the time I'm 70, we'll have a fucking fresh fucking yeah. Just in rock and roll's a
well, as
young.
a fan, you could actually have those songs and make like a vinyl album with
Yeah,
10
well,
tracks. That's what I'm saying.
the plan is to fucking do a couple more singles with the B-sides, then then we'll put it on a full record, but we'll also put it like a little box set with the vinyls and this little collector shit.
Yeah.
But and then
That's
I'll
pretty
go
cool.
go through some of the some 'cause I was going through shit. I was cleaning out draw stuff off another computer and going through these old Pro Tool sessions. And there's so many over the years of just songs that were started that were like,
Hmm.
oh, I forgot about that fucking riff. There's a lot of cool shit. So I'm like been going through some of that. That's what I was doing like last month and shit too, going through. Oh, that's forgot about this. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to find this other track that I have, but I was trying to find the original sessions and I found it, and then I was like, fucking found all this other shit. It was like just maybe two or three parts of a song and part of a vocal, but the
Hmm.
riffs were fucking cool as shit. Fucking badass. Because we get all fucked up, me and Danny, and we start writing riffs and fucking throwing shit down, and then the next day forget about it because we start doing the same fucking thing. Next, I've just fucking oodle, and they're all titled like fuck, pisshead, fucking just no. We just type in whatever the fuck.
So that must have been like what, over 8 years ago, right? Didn't you just like celebrate an anniversary? So I mean,
More than
this is
that.
older,
There's shit that goes back
at
to
least.
fucking oh 01, oh 02. There's so 24 years of just shit on this computer right here. There's that.
Is it backed up?
Oh yeah, that was a
Okay.
backup, and then I backed up that. So because
All right.
I've been saving them as newer versions. So it's like fucking it's like old Pro Tools files, and I don't work in Pro Tools anymore, but I still have it because of all that old shit.
Right.
So I just save it as the new shit. So it's got so I didn't who knows. Try to back up everything. I got
Did you have anything left over from the other bands that you haven't put out? Like, because you did other projects too in between. Is there
not
anything left
really. I
over?
mean, there's like newly dead shit that's kind of blurred in. There's probably some that too as well, and there's but prior to that, it'd just be early faster shit. There wasn't really anything we did except for we did a cover of Hot Legs. That was pretty cool. And this other song called Lied Your Way to Heaven. I think we put that on a fucking just a rough, we had a rough bounce down mix of it. We just kind of cleaned it up a little bit and put that on something. I can't remember what we put that on, but not really. We didn't have that much shit because we weren't really around that long prior to doing this stuff. Like I said, we had to come up with stuff for the first record because we didn't have enough songs. So it's like,
Right.
because we do like fucking 7 songs and a couple covers, we do like fucking Starfucker, we're fucking Star where Izzy would come up with us and play. We did one of the songs originally slated for the record was Venus by Shocking Blue. But right when we were going in to record, right during pre-production, fucking Bananarama came out with it. And we were like, fuck. So that got yoinked. And that's when we wrote fucking Don't Change That Song, like 20 minutes.
But you guys have done some cool covers. Years of Vain, obviously, the one people know the most. But don't change. Actually, don't change. The
Yeah.
newer cover you guys have just
Yeah.
released. You've done some really good covers that are just
Just because they're
definitely more
cool
eclectic.
songs. I just love the song. I was like, fuck, to try to put a little faster twist on it. You know what I mean? That's always, we did a fucking cool version of Boots Were Made for Walking on Power and the Glory Hole.
Yep.
I just heard, I
Right.
hadn't listened to that record forever, and I was going backing up shit. And I was like, fuck, listen to it. And I was like, fuck, that's fucking when I did the rhythm, I fucking reversed it kind of and fucking just made it heavier from the original.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking so cool. But if you listen to the guitar riff on our version of the Boots Are Made for Walking, it's just fucking badass. I was like,
It's a good. That's
forgot,
actually a really
I
good album, though,
forgot
too.
how cool that rhythm and shit was. But it's basically I could have sang a different vocal and it would have been our song because
Yeah.
it's just the fucking way the guitars are and shit. You know, but I was like, I'll sing Boots over the top of it, and it just fit perfect.
People that haven't heard, I mean, that actually is an album out there. I mean, most people may not have known because it wasn't in the hit days, So people just go, it's out there. Back down iTunes and everything else. Check it out. It's a really good album. It's a fun
Yeah,
album.
there's some cool fucking songs on that
Yeah,
record.
there is. I mean, it's just different time period if it's not your hit
Yeah,
records. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It gets buried. Um, but this has been awesome talking to you, man. I don't want to
Cool. We'll do it
break you
again.
in.
We'll do it
No,
again,
absolutely.
definitely.
We
So,
always got lots of stuff to talk about, you and I. So, I mean, wanted to get people caught up musically where you've been up to stuff, you know.
so that's what we're doing. Just got Pretty Ugly coming. I fucking haven't figured out what I'm gonna throw on the B side yet. There's a few options. So that's my next project. So what we'll probably do is try to thinking probably what we'll do is release that in the fall, like right before we do those September
Tours.
dates. So maybe at the end of August, you know, so end of summer
So no,
with
you.
Pretty
So
Ugly. So
any chance of any U.S. states heading over selfishly over to my area,
no,
or
not right now.
not now?
I'm gonna save those for Sam Bam. We got, like I said, we got the M3 next week, and that's it for the US
Yeah.
until
Well, touring's
probably
hard. You don't want
next
to saturate
year.
your market either. You know, you want
We toured a lot over the last,
to.
fucking 10 years, but it's like I like going out every summer and doing 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's fun, but it's like, yeah, after what happened last year, and being thrown back out on the road right away, it was like, it was therapeutic, but it was like fucking, I still needed some chill. So I'm gonna do that this summer. I got a couple things I got to do. I'm gonna go on a motorcycle trip with the guys down to Mexico. It's the El Diablo run. It's the last one they're doing. I haven't done it in a decade. So I'm gonna do that. But back then I did that and smoked and had drugs and drank. So it's like it's kind of gonna be weird going
You'll remember this one
fucking
though, right?
Mexico without tequila and fucking
You'll
cocaine
need your wits. You're gonna
cigarettes.
need your wits though to get back into the country. You got to be sharp
Exactly.
coming back. You know,
Exactly. I know. I'm like fucking 10
every
years older too. So it's like,
right. Everybody pack your paperwork. Good. But yeah,
well, I'll
you,
probably be
you,
bored out of my mind. It's the riding with the guys, that's all fun. But then when you get down there and then you're surrounded by there's a bunch of goofballs down there that fucking just get wasted. You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like I'll just be like, okay, great. I can deal with this shit. So, but it'll be fun being with the guys. It's always just fucking a blast. So
Well, I'm glad you're back to doing things, and it's good. You do things as you need to do to move forward. It's you've had challenges, and I think you're moving forward pretty positive. So
yeah.
more power to you, man. You know,
Thanks, brother.
it's all good. So people listen for stuff. Check them out when you can. The albums that you haven't heard, if you haven't heard them, check them out. I mean, shame on you, and see them if you can, because I was the first time I saw you, and it was amazing. You know,
Oh, thanks,
oh,
man.
you'll share.
Better come see us again, Bubba.
I will. I will. I'll see you around.
Okay.
So people check out Tammy, check out the band, and thanks for the time, man. I appreciate it. Thank
Right
you.
on, Sean. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you.
You have a
Yep.
great night.
You too.
All
All
right.
right.